Hi everyone, this is Ambroise from Moto Plaisir Motorcycle Rental in Geneva. In this video I'm going to show you the controls of the 2022 BMW R1250GS Adventure. So the 1250GS Adventure is a keyless bike. Just keep the fob in your pocket and you switch on the bike pushing this button. Okay, let's have a look on the left side. This button here is to flash and you push it forward for high beam. This button is for the cruise control. You turn the cruise control on like this, you set the speed. You can then accelerate or slow down. If you touch anything like clutch, brakes, or you can push back the throttle like this, it will stop cruising. You can resume pulling this lever, or you can also switch the cruise control off like this. This button is for the LED daylight. When you can see the little A here, that means automatically the main light will be on when it gets dark. Otherwise, only the LED front light is on. This button is for the hazards, no problem. The menu button, when you press up, you can browse through some information on top of the screen. And when you press it down, you enter the menu of the bike. So let's start with the first page with My Vehicle. Here you have all the information related to the condition of the bike. Everything is okay, there is no problem. Coolant temperature, oil level, and tire pressure will be displayed after a few meters or after the engine has been at idle long enough. Okay, I go to the next page, pushing on the wheel to the right like that. This is the onboard computer 1. You can reset this one pressing the menu button down. And here you can reset all the values or only some of them. Okay, I press the menu button up to go back to the previous display. I push the wheel on the right for the next page. This is the trip computer. It says 2 here. This one can be set to be reset automatically every day. Okay, next page. You have another display about the tire pressure. It will display the actual pressure and it will calculate the difference with the specification here. And the last display is about the maintenance. Okay, I go back to the menus. Here, if you have downloaded on your phone the BMW Motorrad Connected app, you can have a basic navigation displayed on the screen. That means the map will not be displayed, but you will have turn-by-turn instructions. You can play your music if you have a Bluetooth headset, and of course you can answer your phone calls. These are the settings of the bike. So I press down again to enter the menu. Here you have the vehicle settings, how the alarm turns on or off. RDC are the tire pressure monitoring system, and of course you want to be warned in case of low pressure. Lights, here you can set if you want them to automatically turn on to the main light when it gets dark or not. HSC is for the hill start control. Driving mode pre-selection. On top of the screen here you can select between 4 riding modes with the button we'll see here. So here in this menu you can pre-select the ones you want to be able to choose with the mode button while you're riding. So if you want to select dynamic, for instance, you have to unselect one of the others, and then you will be able to select it from the mode button on the right. So this was about the vehicle settings, system settings. Well, this is for the language units and so on. Connections. Here you will be able to pair your phone with the bike. Here you will be able to set the brightness of the display. The status line, it's the upper line that you can browse through pressing this button up. So you can here select the information you want to see or not. Just select the ones you want. This button is to turn off the traction control. Here you have the ABS and traction control lights flashing. They will turn off after a few meters. That means everything is okay. The sensors have been checked. If you decide to turn off the traction control, the light will stay on here. This button is to set the suspension during the ride. You can change the setting of the dampers from road to the dynamic setting. It will be stiffer on the dynamic setting. As you can see here, the preload is set on auto. You also have a minimum and maximum preset for the preload, but we should leave that on auto. Whatever the weight you put on the bike, the suspension will adjust itself. Turn signal here, right, left, you push to cancel, it also cancels by itself. The horn is here. This button is to turn on and off the additional lights that are here on each side. So to switch off the bike, you just press the button. To lock the steering, you press and hold this button. After you have turned the wheel bar to the left, you press and hold, and you hear the sound of the locking mechanism. Here you have a small compartment. Okay. The fuel cap is keyless as well. If the bike is on, you are not able to open it like that. You have to switch off the bike first, and then you are able to open the fuel cap. Just push it down like this to close. Here you have a USB plug with a small cap. This is the knob to adjust the height of the windshield. Okay, nothing much to say here. This button is for the emergency call. So when you press this button, the bike calls a BMW call center and they are able to localize the bike. If you need any help, you also have my phone number on the contract. So this is really in case of an emergency. This button is a shortcut to the heating menu of the bike. So you can, on this new 2022 model, you can set the temperature of the heated grips, but also for the seat. Once you have selected the level of heating you want, you push the wheel to the right and you rotate the wheel to change the setting. Okay, like that. For the passenger, the button is on the left side here, so you have 2 levels of heating. You have 5 for the grips and the driver's seat. As it's a bit tedious to go into this menu to do the settings, one little trick here. If you press and hold this button, if you press and hold the button, it will turn off everything. And if you want to switch on the heating to the previous setting, you just press and hold the button. This button is for the riding mode, so we have talked about that earlier. You have the choice between 4 riding modes, and you can select more in the settings of the bike. This button you press up to kill the engine, and you press down to start. Something you can do on the Adventure version of the 1250GS that is not on the standard 1250GS, you can adjust the height of the brake lever, like that. You open the cases with the physical key of the bike. You can open them from the front or the rear. You insert the key like that. We are often tempted to use the key to open the lock. Don't do that, because you can easily break the key inside. So just use this part to open the case. Okay. Make sure everything is lined up to be able to close the case. You can easily remove the case unlocking this. And then you just have to push the case forward, and it slides off its mount. Put it back and push it backwards, and then you can secure them on the bike. And this is exactly the same on the 3 cases. To access under the seat, you use the same key. You turn the key to the rear to lift the rear seat. Under the rear seat, you have a high visibility jacket. Be careful, as the seats are heated, you have a cable here, a few tools under the passenger seat. You can adjust the seat height on 2 positions. Same thing, there is a cable as the seat is heated. The seat is currently in the low position. To put it in the high position, you have to rotate this part. So you have a clip here. And you put it the other way. So you have to do that on this part as well as on this one here. Here you have a L for low, and you rotate it to the high position. So that's about it for the 1250GS Adventure 2022 model. If you have any questions, you have my mobile phone on the contract. Thanks again for your attention. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your trip. Bye.